Hi, my name is Craig with Logistics ATB. We're a dispatching service based in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And my wife started this company just over 3 years ago. We were owner operators. Let's go back to the beginning. Before trucking, I actually worked on Wall Street selling data to the investment banks and mortgage-backed trading desks in the mortgage world. That career came to a crashing halt in 2008 and wasn't coming back, so I had to find something else to do. And Ann was in sales and was not happy with what she was doing, and so I made this bad joke about becoming truck drivers. And she said, if I could take the dogs. And it never occurred to me she was serious. So a couple of months later, I was traveling constantly. I was constantly on the road, flying just a ton of miles. And I said, no, really, what about becoming truck drivers? Because we'd be together. And she said, no, seriously, if I could take the dogs. I had no idea my beautiful wife would say something like that. So we started researching it, and we had no idea what we were doing. We went to a semi-truck driving school, a couple of them, actually, in Colorado. We lived in Colorado, to talk to them about what it would take. And then we stopped by a dealer to get into a truck to see what it looked like inside a truck, because we couldn't find any information online. There was nobody, because we were talking about driving as a team. We found people were telling us that's where the money is, that's where it's, we wanted to be together. We didn't want to be separate. So we saw the inside of a truck, and I guess we could live in here, temporarily, kind of a thing. So we got our CDLs and became company drivers for U.S. Express. We chose U.S. Express for two reasons. They were based in Chattanooga, where our oldest son and our first grandchild lived. And we thought that would mean we get to Chattanooga all the time. And it didn't work out quite as well as we thought there. But the other reason was that they had a pet policy. We could take the dogs, which if I wanted my wife in the truck, I had to have the dogs with us. So those were the two determining factors. And their pay was better than other companies that we talked to. We talked to quite a few companies. I've got a business background. I understand how to make money in any business, really, that I've been in. I've owned and I've started companies. I've sold companies. I've bought companies. But I'd never gotten involved in a company I didn't understand the market before I did. That's why we became company drivers. We kind of always intended, the plan was that if it worked out, we would buy a truck. So after a year and a half, we did that. We bought a truck. We weren't anywhere near ready as far as market knowledge, but we understood the trucking part of it, the actual driving, doing the job, the trucking job, we understood. And then I also wanted to self-dispatch. I wanted to book our own loads because we had friends and family all over the country. And we really wanted to use this as a vehicle to move our butts from party to party, more than anything, really, and vacation to vacation. So, we went every high school graduation, every college graduation, every major birthday, weddings, and if somebody would say, hey, we're getting married in Phoenix, can you be there? Yes, somebody will pay me to drive there. It'd be awesome. So that's kind of what we were after. And it worked out really well for us. It really did. Uber, thank goodness for Uber, because it was pretty new when we started trucking, and they made it really nice. You'd be somewhere, and of course the Enterprise will pick you up. So we'd go somewhere and we'd spend the weekend there and just have a great time. And then we'd get out of the truck and go explore. And I had been to most of these cities in my corporate world, in my corporate life. I had 78 salespeople and I traveled with them. And I'd been out to most great restaurants, and my job was to entertain them and their clients. So I'd been to a lot of these places on my own. So now I had my wife with me, and it was just a really, really cool experience. So, but we went to work. We leased on. We did not get our own authority. We leased on with a company that had 5-year-old authority, and allowed us to did all the back office work for us, and we dispatched ourselves. We found our own loads, and we did a lot of hit and miss. There was learning from bad mistakes on where you want to go and when you want to go there. South Florida. We're at a dry van, so South Florida, Denver. There were markets you just don't want to go to unless you're paid to get out. You get the money in, then it makes it worthwhile. So that was a lot of error, making errors. To education costs money. I told my kids this: education costs. There's no such thing as a free education, and so we paid for our education to a large extent for the first year. But I'm a pretty smart guy. And I'm a research guy. And so we researched markets. We started to understand what the market was about, and met some people who really helped me. and really understand what the market was about, and how it fluctuated, and how cyclical it was. And when the money's good, you got to be putting money away because the money goes bad real quick. So it was you have to understand that getting into the trucking business. And when you're an owner operator, you're not just a truck driver. I know a lot of owner operators who think they just bought a trucking job, and you own a company. You got to manage it like a company. So Anne started dispatching when she wanted out of the truck. I've lost track of where I'm at in this process. But so we've been doing this for 9 years, and we're on the way home, and Anne said, I want out of the truck. All of our grandkids are in Chattanooga. We're up to 5 grandkids, and we had a 6th one on the way, all in Chattanooga, and she wanted to be around them. So she said, I want out of the truck. So I went to work for a friend of mine, a really good buddy, as a broker, and it was a great experience. I learned a lot. I was only did that for 8 months. But I learned a lot sitting on that side of the desk. I've been negotiating with brokers for years, and now I sat there and saw what they were dealing with. So I learned a lot in that. And then, meanwhile, she started this dispatching service, and it grew and grew, and our daughter started working with her, and she got to the point she needed help. So I said, I'd rather do that with you than work somewhere else. So we've been doing this. Our goal here is to help our clients be successful. That's really the only focus we have. But the goal with this channel is to help other people. We see so much bad information, so much bad training. The things I hear on Facebook and the internet and YouTube are shocking. Shockingly bad advice given on a regular basis. So the goal here is to teach people, if they want to learn, how to do some market research, how to understand where you want to go, how to negotiate. We'll look at load boards, what it takes to actually make a profit in a truck. Even in a down market, this market is horrible compared to what it was a few months ago, but it's still historically a pretty good market. Our clients are making money. We've got clients with us that have been with us since day one. And they're friends, not just clients anymore at this point, And so we have everything from owner-operators, single truck, to small fleets. We have a couple, husband and wife, that both drive their own trucks, and they get home every weekend to be together. So it works out really well. So that's kind of the goal here. If you're becoming an owner-operator and you want to learn how to move your truck, I want to be able to give you some information that helps you do that. If you want to start a dispatching service, I want to keep you from hurting hurting other people's clients. I'm not worried about losing my clients, but I just think you have their future. You have their ability to make a living and support their family in your hands, and you got to know some stuff. And it's not something you just pick up in a week. I've seen people teaching dispatching with a 3 months experience. They've been doing it for 3 months, and they're going to teach you to do it in a week. And it's just insane, the stuff you hear. So stay tuned. We'll talk a little bit more about our history, our past, what we've done, what we're trying to do, and we'll go forward from there. I hope you join us.